just pushed. I have begun streaming. Let's see if it shows up. There we go. Okay. Yay! Okay, and I'll send this in the places where it belongs. Copy that. Send it over here. And also send it over here. You know. Okay. There's the stream. I am so tired. This is going to be Bluff City. Bluff City. I don't remember. I sort of came up with it, or it was given to me a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna make something very basic over here. Somebody made note of this area maybe supporting some sort of small community, and I thought that was a great idea. So, yeah, no cars, no cars. Hi Graham, hi Shoreline. I'm gonna work on Bluff City first. Probably gonna put the docks over here. Didn't this say no? What the heck is this? I've never seen this before. Oh sorry. There's the no cars version. Give me that one. I'm gonna work on Bluff City, and then we're gonna run a test, and I'm gonna work on some industries, getting them in the spreadsheet, I should say, and that's basically it. I am exhausted. I've been up since, hey Mopac, I've been up since about 6:15 this morning. Oh no, it was 5:30 that I set my alarm for, and the reason for that is I spent most of the day in New Hampshire checking out railroad crossings, cataloging the best of the worst, so to speak, when it comes to the various crossings on the Hillsborough branch, or the Milford line, depending on who you ask. It's a line that Agilius is actually quite familiar with, which I was surprised by, but he has family out there. The Hillsborough line is former B&M, and then former Gulford, I assume. Now it's owned partly by the state of New Hampshire, and partly by partly by Pan Am. It's owned, or there's a small railroad that runs between a quarry and a cement plant. Search filter. I think I'm gonna sort of design this slightly after what Block Island is like. Yes, that line. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry about your sock. I got a half-decent video of well, it's not actually a good video, but it'll probably show up in the community channel at some point, yes, I can get into that, of the railroad, of their stone train, which is the only train they have. So, yeah, they do have a spat with Pan Am because of a death at one of the crossings. Each company blames the other. It was the M&B's train, or the Milford Bennington train. Yes, they do. But the crossing is in the Pan Am section, so who's to say? Let's grab a couple of smaller houses. Just put on this here. Wartime house. Although the only thing is, it wouldn't really make sense for these guys to have a driveway. As much as I like these, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Well, warehouse. They leased the line from Pan Am. Yeah, well, they lease part of the line from Pan Am. There is a a crossing in town's name escapes me. I believe it is a W town name. Just it's the next town over from Milford. Um, that is the dividing line between Pan Am control and state control. So yeah, part of it is Pan Am, part of it is not Pan Am. The accident occurred. Yes, it is. The accident occurred on the Pan Am portion, as previously mentioned, and it was an M&B train. Like I said, they each blame the other person. Hi, Matt. What is this? Oh, it's another store. Although, you know, I'll put that here. It's going to be a very small affair. New England railroads are confusing, and they always have been. The most perplexing thing when I look back at railroad history, and I'm sure Shoreline will have something to say about this, one of the most perplexing things to me is the seemingly nonsensical rivalry between the New Haven and the B&M, and I've talked about this before, but, I mean, good news is it contributed to an absolutely staggering rail density in southern New England, but it was just the B&M and the New Haven putting up branch lines next to one another every 25 miles across Massachusetts, basically. It's it's pretty nuts, really. Okay, we just used this house, but we can use it again. Yeah, no, the wackiness definitely helps. I think it's a contributing factor for the goodness of New England railroads. At least those that weren't completely New Havenized. Whatever wasn't completely taken over by the New Haven. Roads built out of spite were very common. Yeah, I know, it's just the sheer number of spite railroads. Uh, yeah, the sheer number of spite railroads in New England is staggering. It's insanity. Um, yeah, stuff like this is what I want to get to these houses. Spite didn't last. Yeah. Well, even in the case of this rivalry, there's fun situations like after the bridge killing bridge went on its rampage out of Turner's Falls, there was the situation just became the New Haven rebuilt their bridge and the B&M didn't want to rebuild their bridge, so they just bought the New Haven line instead. They just decided that that was easier. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that really, other than they they realized how nonsense it was, I'm sure, but they were just doing it because that's what you did, you know. Uh, he puts up a rail line, I must put up a rail line. Uh, he builds a bridge over the Connecticut River, I must build a bridge over the Connecticut River. We have a mountain division they cannot afford. Great success. Yes. Uh, so yeah, so I had to get up at early in the morning and just head on up to Bennington, New Hampshire, not to be confused with Bennington, Vermont, and just start writing stuff down and taking pictures. And I was there with a coworker who is someone who has an absolutely staggering number of years working on transit projects Uh, and so I was basically totally expecting to be at her mercy. But we got along really well together. We worked really well together. She took a lot of the pictures. I did a lot of the note taking. And I wish that I had all those pictures that I could share with everyone right now. Unfortunately, I do not. But yeah, I have. All right, we're not doing that. I have a wealth of pictures just out of reach, basically. A future female version of himself. Yeah, I mean, if I can garner as much respect in my career as Rachel has in hers, it would be I would be a very happy man, I think. So, yeah. I don't know how long she's been in the field. It's probably, you know, it's decades. I don't know how much of that she's spent with WSP, but either way, it was great to work with her. And of course, while I was up there, now here's the thing: the state of New Hampshire does a decent job, or decent enough job, of keeping track of their track. They keep it to a standard of 25 miles an hour. Pan Am, as those of you may know, doesn't. So you can tell where the Pan Am track begins when you look at it and it turns into sort of overcooked spaghetti looking rails that don't that are not in straight lines, that are not really in the gauge or in gauge, that don't look safe to drive a train on. Uh, Meanwhile, the New Hampshire owned track looks pretty good. I mean, even the sections that uh, were past the the quarry, which is the farthest west active track. Probably could, yeah. Um, Looked decent. The issues were, of course, that um, there was no like obviously protection to the crossing. There doesn't need to be. They're all exempt. Uh, no maintenance, so water's washed over everything, sediments all over everything. Um, yeah. Aha. Oh wow. Okay, that's more than I would have thought. I just want the wharf itself, but whatever. I can deal with this. It would be good if CSX does improvements. Um, I still don't. I still am not exactly rooting for them, but if they get it, it would be nice to see them do improvements. Um, I'm sort of just bracing for what's going to get turned over to G&W and how that's going to screw over Vermont, among other places. And just, I'm just not looking forward to it. Uh, and the reduced number of trains running through the Hoosick Tunnel, that sort of thing. I am genuinely afraid, and I never thought about it in this light before, but I guess I'm afraid to see the Hoosick Tunnel route turn into another Tennessee Pass, where it's sitting there for all time because it has to be there as a backup route, but it doesn't see any trains, and it doesn't get a lot of attention either. Um, that's basically what my thoughts are. So this is going to be gravel. This is going to be a fenced-in like farm area, and I should probably put some more houses over here. GW still needs a connection to NS. Yeah, but they have so many of them. Or, well, they have lots of connections out of the state of New Hampshire anyway. Or, sorry, the state of Vermont. Derp. But yeah, I guess none of them go to NS aside from what that one will be. We'll cut it back to Mechanicsville. Going VRS and CP White will be stupid out of the West. Do you know these don't connect currently New England? Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I'm tired. They don't connect at all. I figured they would connect in, like, the more northern reaches of Providence and Worcester and NECR on Pan Am Southern, but then that would be out. Yeah, they'll still own 50% of that line. They just won't want to use it. Oh, whoops! I have peer set up. Really? GW and NS don't connect currently. That is weird to think about. I have to look at a map now because I need to understand where my knowledge is falling apart. BNSF bought Tennessee Pass. I mean, congrats, they'd have a stretch of rail that leads directly back to UP. That's the biggest issue with Tennessee Pass, is that if somebody else were to buy it with intent to run it, they'd still need to get permission from Union Pacific on the west end to do anything at all with it. At least for any run-through trains, and there isn't any traffic that would be originating. This land is in all of things. Pan Am has all the carload traffic. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So I guess that doesn't count as a connection. But, like, sort of theoretically possible. If you wanted to change the agreement a little bit, but oh well. The deal is the deal. It's not a rail problem, it's a legal problem, is what I'm understanding from what you're saying. Brick house. So these are quite substantial. I've changed the agreement. Pray I do not change it further. Oh god, this is all the way over there. Yeah, I'm just upset that we won't be getting those intermodal trains through the tunnel anymore, because I like to see them. They're the most reliable ones if you want to catch a train coming through Hoosick Tunnel. Carload traffic coming from New England G&W lines. Yeah, but that's just the G&W lines. You know, it's so much less, because now you no longer have the Pan Am traffic. I know it is. The B&A is a better intermodal corridor, but I think it's lame. That's it. There's no, like, you know, there's no substantive backing to why I'm not for this deal. It's just that I feel like more trains through State Line is more lame than more trains through the Hoosick Tunnel. And you can't prove me wrong. Yeah, it's still 2 trains. It will be significantly harder for me to catch a train at the Hoosick Tunnel after this agreement happens. That's the part that that matters to me. It's all about how will these mergers affect me. Okay, this is the front of the house. I was actually curious about operations there, or like if anyone has tried to run a tourist service there, and apparently the the rail the their name's escaping me, the quarry people did at one point have a scenic operation, which I think is really cool. I'm disappointed that they do not still have a scenic operation because it's a really pretty line and it's got nothing else going on. Um, so let's see. I want a yeah. Let's do it like this. Oops. Okay. Hold shift when you're doing that. I did it again. So yeah, like I said, been up a while. It's been a rough week for sleep anyway. I keep getting carried away with stuff way too late at night. You know, you get on these tangents of like research and stuff, and then suddenly it's 2 a.m. It's like, oh man, I should go to bed. I really need to go to. Or I'm doing it on purpose this time. I need to go to bed, and it's way past the time where you're gonna be able to get a good night's sleep anyway. So you just sort of suffer. I, I will later. I swear I will. I am tired. Um, I'm barely keeping my eyes open, but I'd rather work on this than sleep right now. So, okay, let's grab some of this. Please tell me I set this right. Okay. That would have been a real good mess up for that. Then I would have definitely gone to bed. So, yeah, some of the rails genuinely look like overcooked spaghetti. I don't know how trains make it down that, but we did get to see both the Stone train and the, from what I hear, twice weekly Pan Am local, which was a very sad little train, but at least it had a G&W painted unit. Or sorry, G&W. It had a Gulford painted unit, and it had one boxcar, which I think was a buffer car, and two tank cars destined for somewhere. Yeah, no, crawling across a crossing at 10 miles per hour. That is also going to be on the community channel at some point. I do intend to upload that. Which is a just positively gigantic crossing. If you go along the Hillsborough branch, I don't even need to tell you which one it is. You'll find it. It's it's crossing basically it's crossing a state highway, and it's at a total skew, total diagonal, and it's at an intersection. And when the train comes through, all the lights light up and everything turns red and everybody stops. It's pretty intense. So it is it was quite a sight to see, and it wasn't the kind of thing where we went there on purpose to catch it. We were actually not going to look at that crossing because, despite the fact that it is an absolute absurdity, it didn't register on our safety radar, or it didn't register on our site visit radar, A, because it wasn't a safety issue, despite what it is, and B, because we could see it pretty clearly in Google Street View. All of these site visits that we had to do were because there was something that we didn't think we could see well enough in Google Street View and satellite view to get a good idea of how safe the crossing was. The uh, the crossing on that major highway had pretty recent and up-to-date street view, and so we were just able to look at it and go, okay, this is what the situation is. We don't think the situation has changed. We can make our safety assessment without going in the field to see this one. And, oh, crap. And, oops, now I placed that underwater. And that's what we did. And so we went to a bunch of other ones, including one next to an airport, um, one on Main Street in Nashua, which was ridiculous because the crossing just cuts the the lanes. Like, it goes right through where cars are stopped waiting for the light, and there's not even signage that tells cars not to stop on the tracks. So we didn't get to see a train come through there, but we did get to see a red light where all the cars just parked on the tracks, basically. Um, and yeah, the crossing isn't flagged. Or, sorry, the crossing is flagged. It doesn't have any gates or lights. It has a couple of signs which are pretty poor just because of where they're placed. They kind of blend in. Uh, yeah, it's kind of it's an obnoxious crossing, and I'm amazed that it's existed in the form it is and hasn't killed someone. I guess we owe that all to the fact that it's a flagged crossing, because otherwise somebody absolutely would have got plowed by a train by this point. I don't need trees up here. I don't want trees up here. So, yeah, and the trains, they just mosey. They are in fact just 10 mile an hour, like, seasickness machines, I guess. It's really it's insane. Uh, I didn't get a good look at either of the trains on the Pan Am track. The one that we saw crossing the big crossing was at a distance, and those crossings, relatively speaking, the rails on the crossings are pretty good. Um, it's just everywhere else that's a total disaster. Because you go up to some of these and you look at the rail and you go, oh, okay, this is fine. Let me write down this situation. It looks fine to me. And then you look to the left and right, and it's just bent rails, rails that are clearly out of gauge, situations where you have little bitty stick rails that are like 2 feet long that are joined together to fill in little gaps. Uh, Occasionally a singular random welded joint, although I think those are all on the state maintained portion. It was kind of nuts. So, yeah, that's my fun story. I'll probably talk about that again on the podcast, just to see if I have pictures by then. It would be nice to have some visual aid. Sorry. I'm going to fill in this grass with this. I don't know if this is any different than the grass I've been using. It's definitely the same shape, but I had used it previously in a different area, and so I'm just going to use it here. I'm going to make a path from here down to the gravel out of texture alone, and we will fill this area in with grass that we've used in similar locations. So, yeah. That rail line was definitely something special. I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad I got to see trains on it, because heaven knows I don't think I'll be getting up there anytime in the foreseeable future, specifically with intent to rail fan the Hillsborough branch again. Um, Although I would like to chase a train. I suppose you could chase a train on that line on like a bicycle if you're sufficiently determined, or even if you're not very determined. Honestly, I feel like you could chase a train on the Pan Am portion of that line on foot if you really wanted to. That's what it seems like to me. Okay, so I want to put a little farm field there. I'm not sure what to do for the grass around here. I think I might just use more of this incredibly vibrant grass. Where'd everybody go? Oh, the conversation suddenly stopped. Oh well, I miss all of you. I know for a lot of people these streams can be at inconvenient times. I've been thinking about retiming certain things to be more reasonable for people across the US instead of just being like at a decent time for people in the East Coast and then everyone else is kind of hosed. Because, if something's at 7 o'clock Eastern for me, that means it's like 4 o'clock for people in California and stuff. And I recognize that that is not convenient for a lot of people. I'm just not sure what to do about that because I can't necessarily make stuff run later. I mean, I can, but I don't really want to. And I don't want to then just try to shift, you don't want to undermine the audience you've currently got. But, of course, these all go up as videos on demand. You guys will be able to watch this after the fact. Some of you probably are. And staring at my exhausted face, going, why does he do this to himself? And I'm like, it's a thing I gotta do. New England railroads, if they hadn't been there, if they hadn't built, then the railroads. Yeah, that is fair. The various like duplicate lines provided a lot of resiliency. And they also provided a lot of just legs for the various different railroads to reach all these different areas. Meh. I know I'm just doing the straight green. I will come back in here with other textures. Hello, Reading 3640. Okay. This I'm just going to do in grass. This I will do in light grass. And we're going to intrude on this field a little bit because I will come over and paint it over later. Leave enough traffic to support one railroad. Sometimes they barely even have that. Honestly, I think there was only one active customer on this branch that wasn't the quarry op. And it was a little perplexing. I think it's where those tank cars were going. It's next to a suburban propane place. And, oh, nice. There was a suburban propane place which doesn't get rail served anymore. I'm not sure. Are there any suburban propane places left that do rail service? Because I feel like every one that I've seen has a spur that's out of service or just isn't used anymore. Maybe that's just me, but that's what it feels like to me. Of some in the South? Okay. As long as it's not just, Because I was starting to wonder if the lack of rail service was more of a company policy thing than an incidental thing, for whatever reason. Maybe contracts changed and they got like a really good trucking contract. I'm going to leave this also as just this fallow field, because it's probably not worth trying to grow too much on this little island. I'm not spinning it, but I probably should be. I figured it would have a rather uniform texture and it wouldn't look as good spun, but that's not the case. Pan Am's its own worst enemy. Yeah, that about sums it up. That about sums up Pan Am, honestly. They are absolutely their own worst enemy. It's kind of a shame because of how neat New England railroads are, Well, yeah, trucks are everyone's enemy. Ship by rail. The what was I saying? These, I don't know, these little lines. Why don't they keep up maintenance? Because they don't want to. No, absolutely, New England is a more conducive region to trucking, but man, we need to not do that. Like, I don't know what it takes. Get some subsidies out there or something. We need to get the rails back in operation. Just for the sake of all good things. Eh, I mean, it's as far as a productivity and like efficiency standpoint, I do agree. It's not necessarily, I don't want to rail wash it, so to speak. I don't want to whitewash it. Just like, oh, trucks, trucks bad, train good. But on like a larger scope, it is kind of like that, isn't it? Just from a from an ecological standpoint, and also just from a traffic standpoint, you know, it would be nice to separate, and from a safety standpoint, it would be nice to have a freight rail system with more feelers into tighter areas. Uh, yeah, and that is fair. Northern New England certainly doesn't have too many customers, but this branch line in particular ends like 100 yards shy of a paper mill, and there are big signs directing trucks through like not the back roads of town, and I just saw that on the map and I went like, what? Like, it's a paper mill. It's a small one, um, but it just strikes me as like, couldn't this be rail served? It's sitting next to a rail line, There are quite a few small industries up there that, use trucks out of convenience, certainly. But I feel like we should be advocating for not that. I'm biased though. And, it's neat. Back to the how does it affect me directly? I want foamier things. I want more trains, just so I can see them. You know, in a hard numbers discussion of what makes more sense in a given area, the status quo makes sense a lot of the time because it wouldn't be there if it didn't. I don't think that this thing is not rail served because of some big misunderstanding or, oh, we forgot we could do that. It's just like, no, it didn't make financial sense for us, so we didn't do it. Uh, I mean, some of these are like, oh, we stopped being rail served many years ago because of XYZ that happened, and if you look at the situation now, some of that situation may have changed. For example, Penn Central no longer exists. Uh, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a potato farm is going to go back to shipping by rail. It is, it's as much circumstance of the times as it is sort of inertia. It does take time and effort to do a study and crunch the numbers, but when it's been so many years, you expect that uh, somebody has done the numbers before. And stopping rail serve because of the rail service. See the comments in the STB applications. That's interesting. I wonder how that balances uh, when compared to like the benefits from this merger, etc. I mean, congrats, they're not going to have Pan Am anymore. Will they go back to shipping by rail? We'll have to see. Uh, I feel like some of those are probably completely accurate, and some of them are just grousing where when they do get rail service that isn't Pan Am back, it'll sort of be like, oh wow, I didn't think I would get this far. sort of situation. And I can see that. But I can see it the other way too. You know, there's probably just as many of these that are legitimate. Like, you know, if we had somebody else to negotiate with, then maybe we would do this again. That said, I don't feel like there's a railroad out there right now that is doing really good at drawing in new customers. Maybe a couple of short lines, but certainly not CSX, and I don't think uh, CSX is trying to buy Pan Am. Uh, yeah, and certainly if if the price isn't there, you know, Pan Am just feels like a grift sometimes. I've never settled on the word for it, but now I have. Pan Am just feels like a massive grift. It's like, yeah, we will take your money, and sometimes we'll give you a train in return. Which is a shame. How dare they ruin the Pan Am name? Anyway, this is Bluff City. We have made a town in about... How long did that take? In about... I literally can't see. Oh, there it is, 41 minutes. This is a big city. So, I mean, if CSX is doing a good job at sort of setting out, or you know, drawing in new customers, then I'm a little bit more excited because on just a higher level overview, more train is better, and more customers are better for more train. Pan Am is a part of that program? Huh. Okay. That's interesting. That's McGinnisy. Uh, just saying. Oh, I roll into Mason's Landing and whoosh. Yeah, but it's a pretty decent looking town. Traffic didn't decline during 2020. Wow, that's actually a really good figure. That's a good metric. Okay, what's next on our docket? The industry settings. This is the part where my brain will hurt. What little of it I have will start to hurt. So, do we want to do... I'm back. Did I miss some Tolbrand? I finished Bluff City and named it. So, you missed that. Oh man, my computer's going into turbo mode. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. And I guess I'll put one over here. Or, yeah, so I want you to go to there, or from there, across the bridge, and then there to get in. Although, yeah, you're fine. So, we've got to set up the other 4 trolleys. We also need to set up the industries, because we were working on those. And we came up with a bunch of other... we came up with a bunch of commodities because we entered a new doodad last time. So, yeah. Yeah, this is going to hurt my brain. So, I need to see what's in the spreadsheet and what is not. I need to see what's in this and what is not. What happens when you give your marketing department money? Pan Am is like, joke's on you, we're not giving any department money. Okay. Do I want to try this now, or do I want to just vibe and see if these trams collide? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. so we need to set up these trams. Edit session, driver setup. Add another driver. We'll just start going down the list because we need 4 of them. Alberto. I skipped one. MVTC 2. MVTC 3. MVTC 4. Also, providing decent service sounds like a commie plot to me. Oh, 542. So I'll need to be releasing these on time if I want to test how it works, which means I need to sit here and every 11 minutes release one. Although I could just put in dummy values for these. Either way, let's set them out. Wait for 5 seconds. The second one leaves at 5:53, then 6:04, then 6:15. 5:54. 5:15. Oh wait, what did I say? Did I say 5:15? Oh, sorry. No, 5:54, then 6:03. 6:03. And finally, 6:15. Oh wait, no, 6:04. Jesus Christ. I say them out loud and they just leave my brain. 6:04. This one was 5:54. That's because that one was supposed to be 5:53. Wait until 5:53, then 6:04, then 6:15. It's plus 11 minutes every time. It's not that hard. Okay, wait for 5 seconds. Wait for 5 seconds. There you are. I have to put in 8 commands. Horns. And that's another wait for 5 seconds. And then let's do horns. Let's add the horns. Wait for 5 seconds. Wait for 5 seconds. I really wish I could just copy and paste and stuff. Streetcars. Yes. Streetcar good. MVTC full service. Oh wait, and this is append? Yes. Copy commands from append from library MVTC full service. Let's do this again. Copy commands from append from library MVTC full service. Copy commands from append from library MVTC full service. And then we have 3 track marks. Sugma Boulevard Loop. And this is these are all drive via. Drive via track mark. MV Sugma Boulevard Loop. Interurban good. Drive via track mark. Sugma Boulevard Loop. Drive via track mark. Sugma Boulevard Loop. It really does, doing the standards really does help with the confusion, which is nice. Did what? Oh. Old Bridge Street Yard southbound. Drive via track mark. Yeah, it's all in Mason's Valley, or Mason Valley. Drive via track mark, Old Bridge Street Yard southbound. I moused right onto that. It's almost like I might know where it is. Unfortunately, I don't. Okay. And the last one... Oh, that's why. Oh, I can... Okay. Abrupt Street. Via track mark, MV Abrupt Street. Why is that backwards like that? Drive via track mark. VMV Abrupt Street. Drive via track mark. MVMV or Broad Street. Okay, so here's the deal. We've got these things, right? Oh, you know what I can do to have this work right? I could just set the time to 5:42 is what I could do. So let's do that. Startup options 5:42, just to see how this goes, and I will save. And while we're doing this, I will be checking the spreadsheet. So if you guys want to watch this, you can. If you guys want to see me plink the spreadsheet instead, we can do that. But either way, that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, and I need to driver mode. Okay, it is now 5:41 in the morning. Oh, there goes the bridge. Damn, that thing goes fast. Okay, I'm gonna go look at my spreadsheet. Because I noticed, because I wrote a couple of things down to check. Oh yeah, flat stock was one of them. I think there was another one. Steel rods, 10 meters. Because we changed the preferred rail car for those to the new car that we got. Flat stock, I know, was something. Was at least one something. Let's see, industries. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm keeping an eye on this. Alright, there goes you. We know how this works before. Or we know how this works. So, I'm looking for industries that take flat stock. Nothing here is going to output flat stock, so it's going to be a consumer. Commodity. Flat stock. There we go. The machine fabric siding. That takes 2, except it should not take 2. It should take 4. Because of the way the industries work. I need to mark down every industry that takes more than... Or, sorry. That takes less than 4 items. The machine fabric siding is one of them. The other one is the Harrison Milling Company. That only takes 1. Then there are other ones. The food home manufacturing is also not good. Has too few. And these are all 4 or nil. This is 4 or nil. Oh, these are coaling towers. That's right. Or sorry, that's multiple thousands or nil. Yeah. So some of this works. Some of this works, but these 4 things are not good. And then I think we have others. Right, these all do 4. Right, those are the ones that are the biggest problems. So there are industries that are taking 1 or 2 items and need to be taking at least 4 for the formulas to make sense. Which means 2 carloads when it comes down to it with this new thing. How many industries are in Mason's Landing? That is a good question. Okay, so let's find out. Or wait, Mason's Landing or Mason Valley? I'm not sure if I read that right. Mason's Landing is... There are 1, 2, 3, Or sorry, I need to be reading the different. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although 3 of those are Bayside Brewery. And one of those is a. Wait, no. I thought one of those was a coal state for the railroad. So those are okay. Then there's 1, 2, 3. All those are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the goods shed and the team track. For consumer industries, and then for producer industries, there's Bayside Brewery again, so that doesn't count. And that would be 8, 9, 10. So 10. That's Mason's Landing. And I can go look at them all. Oh, Mason Valley. Mason Valley. Mason Valley is worse, but I don't have them all written down yet. So there's the MV Steel, which is a big one. You know what? Actually, the easiest thing to do would just be to do it like this. So I'm sorry if you can't see anything. I really can't either. There's the log transfer. That's 1. There's the coal transfer. That's 2. If you want to count those 2. And it's okay. I confuse them too. There's the time traveling warehouse thing. Whatever we called it. What did we call it? Sanchez goods. So that's 3. I could probably have like a drop off for this, but whatever. There will probably be some other industries over here, but that's 3. This is 4. This place right here. This is 5. This is 6. The coal unloader into the barges. This would have been 7, but this is not an active industry. It's just sort of here. This whole thing is 8. So this, that, and that. That's 8. And then now we got to go across the river. So you have 9, 10, 11, 12. Monkey Bananas is 13. 14. And then you go up to the island. 15, 16, 17. I think that's it. It's a lot. Yeah, because there's only Monkey Bananas over there. Yeah, I did count this one. Oh, 18. This one. The spool place. And this one would have been 19, but this is inactive. I don't remember what this was supposed to make. It was supposed to make something for the war. I haven't written about the war, but needless to say, there would be one, I guess. Alright, we're getting close to the next one leaving. Where's the trolley? Where is he? We're getting close to him getting over here. Yeah, there he is. Oh. Okay, so... yeah, so that's the mall. We need to have them all cataloged. Probably a dedicated switcher out of Mason Valley to switch all the industries. Yeah. So there will be at least 1, possibly 2 trains a day that runs as basically as a turn from Olive to here. Pulls in here, runs around the train, stuffs this yard full of cars. Engine comes out of engine shed or out of engine shed, depending, and runs, all the industries, puts it back together, train leaves. Train comes back with maybe second set of carloads, because it probably wouldn't all be at once. Some would be the stuff that was compiled overnight, and the other stuff would be what's compiled during the day. There was something... I don't think it was Mason Valley or Mason's Landing, but I remember there being some sort of stipulation about running trains only at night. Uh, I don't think that was here. I don't think that's in an area I've built yet. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But maybe I'm just thinking of the freight train doing that one. So count that one out because that one's run by something else. Also, this would have been another industry, another industry, another industry. Oh, sorry, that one's over here. Uh, another one, and another one. But this whole industrial park is just abandoned trackage. But yeah, they absolutely. I mean, they have the, and also like 2 or 3 of those are narrow gauge only. Maybe an area with commuter trains. Yeah, well, that's one of the things that, like, this area is supposed to have uh, trains that run back and forth here, but I can't remember what that was. I think it was. Oh, I remember what it was actually. Hold on, let's take a field trip. No trains on this during the day. This right here. That was one of the things. This was one of the things that crossed my mind. So you would have the switcher come through and do all of this stuff and stop just shy of this to switch the grain place here, which I don't think is an industry. No, it's not. I should probably set that up. How am I allowed? Can I have him? Lafayette. I'm sitting in my wallet and it's uncomfortable.
Lafayette, come here.
What did you get? Stuff. Come here.
Come here, good boy.
Lafayette.
Go
Come
get him.
here. Yay. Whee. Okay, Pupper. Wouldn't it be harder to see trains at night? Yeah, and that's why I'm torn between only a day versus only at night. I think the issue is that, hey, we're a tourist town and we don't want, or, we have a tourist base and we don't want trains lumbering down one of our most scenic roads during the day while the tourists are out and about. A 3D model of an avatar. Neat. And Reading, that's kind of what I hope people think about. I spend a lot of time contemplating and subsequently working on operations for my railroads, and it means a lot to me that, they are the way that they are. I can't put them down. The pizza guy's here. Yeah, less traffic at night. Burr, burr, burr. You can't go and attack the pizza guy. You cannot go bark at the pizza guy. What did you get? Okay, can I put him down now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, he's very interested in this food. Oh my god. Look at him.
That's for you.
What is
You
this?
said you weren't hungry.
What is this? What is it? Well, I'm hungry now. Thank you. I love you.
Go ahead, boy.
Okay, good. My food. The food has arrived.
Food that you didn't know you were getting.
I mean, I hoped I was getting something.
Of course I was going to get you something. What, you think I'm ignorant?
Well, no. But I did say don't buy me anything. I would not have been disappointed if I got nothing. But I would have been hungry. Yep. Okay, yeah, I'll go grab that. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute so I can eat some stuff, and we're going to watch this guy go... Well, I mean, what's more entertaining? Watching this guy go through town again? Because we've seen the train go through town a million times. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's make sure this one can make it. I will be right... Oh, right. Turn off the camera. I'll be right back. Yeah. Um, the to come back to what you're saying, Shoreline, the railroad, I sat down and divided it up based on the original map that I drew, which was very simple. As those yards that I called out in my map as the sort of basis of operation, the hubs, and also where I'd be calculating the car flow through. So for those purposes, Mason's Landing, Mason Valley, the Olive Branch, obviously, um, and Lionhead, and all the smaller towns are going to be considered part of. What is this? A mushroom on here? Mick. Are going to be considered part of Olive. There's some mushrooms on this. That's unfortunate. Hey, kiddo. I'm eating. We're 5 minutes away from the third one being released, and I like the pattern that's developed. Love you. It's okay. We're doing a morning test of this. Which is, hooray from the new house, Pat. Which, the morning test is, like, okay, so we need to see all the trains leaving at different times just to see how they, like, stack up against one another, if they conflict with one another, etc. The thing that would be interesting to check, F the Jets, is who wins the race. I mean, it would almost definitely be the train, but it would be neat to see. Because the Valley Line is a commuter corridor, or it has a train that runs back and forth. Yeah, Olive is a starting ending point for a lot of locals. It has plenty of industry in and of itself, though, and it also, it does generate and terminate some trains. Those trains being the intermodal train. Yeah. It honestly, the intermodal train is set up to take one train a day, was my original plan. But maybe it could be more than that. Probably one in each direction minimum, if I'm being realistic with it. It's just the thing is getting a industry to load and unload the same cargo at different times of the day is something that I have not yet cracked. There is an intermodal train. It is as it stands, it is a 40 car um, trailer on flat car train that the Volga Mountains Railroad runs on a daily basis. From Point South to Olive. But yeah, the lumber mill, the branch line, the lumber mill, the pulp mill, they're all significant cargo generators. Excuse me. Yes. A lot of railroads do, or the railroads here do less than carload. There is a team track in just about every town. In a couple of towns, there's more than one goods shed. I believe Olive has a fairly large one. Mason's Landing has two I can think of. Yep. Lionhead Turn has one. Adams doesn't, but in fairness, it would be a little bit difficult. Adams doesn't have anything except for the uh, doodad. Just the station there. Welcome back, Stellar. Oh, goodbye. Alright, I'm folding up the pizza box. I ate half a personal pizza. I feel fat enough. Let's see where the other trams are. That one's there. That means you should be... Oh, wow, you're already down here. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I did time it so they would be spaced out like that, but it's going almost better than I expected. I'm pleasantly surprised. So we know that they come out okay. Let me turn my camera back on. We know they come out okay. It'd be nice to know if they go back in okay. Yeah, I did add this as like a, I do want to have this. Excuse me. Not as like a, I'm gonna put an abandoned industry here. So, yeah. Here's your, here's the brewing company. And this kiln. Which is related to the brewing company. There's this place. I don't even remember what this was supposed to be, just like an administrative building for this. I don't know. When I am questioning my own logic behind building a place, you know it's got some detail. I do think this came out really good. This whole area. I love Mace's Landing. I mean, I love all my creations equally, but I love Mason's Landing equally more. So, we have... Let's go find the other tram. He should be over here somewhere. It's probably in Doodad right now. There he comes, coming down the mountain. Easy on those brakes. And then we're 4 minutes from the last tram releasing. So we know they work in the morning. It's just a question of getting them back at the end of the day. Which I added another signal over here, which should help facilitate that. Meanwhile, we need to, we still don't know what to put here. Is there anything that might be carried? Hold on. Let me look at my spreadsheet real quick. My spreadsheet is... I need to look at freight cars and loads. I need to look at boxcar items. Because I need to find something probably that would be shipped like in sacks. That might make sense. Cement bag pallet. Yeah, that's not it. Corn. No, also not it. Farm equipment. Or sorry, fertilizer bag pallet. Fruit, general goods, grain HP, hops, lumber. Oh, hello there. I didn't expect to see that, or hear that. Oats. All these are things. Potatoes bagged on pallet. Soya beans. Vegetable canned pallet. Listen, these guys have a... This is a bit of a theme. I'm looking for anything unusual that a boxcar might carry that might be good in this area. Auto parts. Georgia Pacific 8-foot hay bales, IKEA pallets. Yeah, that's what we need. John Deere tractor. All this lumber. It's like a lumber box car. Pallet of stock feed bags. I need like, what is something that can break down iron? What is like some sort of I'm thinking a chemical that can break down iron that might be like that you can get in a sack. Uh, so I mean, ammonium nitrate might do it. Do I have a sack of ammonium nitrate? No. There's just ammonia, like a tank car full of ammonia. Which, I mean, I guess I could shove tank cars in here. But that probably wouldn't do it. Hydrochloric acid. Yeah. Do I have that? I think I do. Hold on. Hold on. But I don't think that'll do anything to iron slash steel. Uh, where is it? I don't have it listed, but I think I still have it as a commodity. Let me check my thing. Manage content. Installed. Acid. Oh, I have two. Yeah. Hydrochloric acid. Why is it listed as packaged? What does that mean? List dependents. Oh, it's a tank car for. It's a British tank car. Um, sulfur acid. Okay, I can't answer that. List dependents. Sulfur acid. Oh, okay, tanker 40-foot UTLX. Okay. What if I just look it up on the DLS? Bagged ammonium nitrate. Oh, you're about to leave. You can see that one going. This guy is getting ready to go, I think, which is why the bridge is going down. Either that or it's because this guy. Oh, yeah, it was because of him. That was weird. Okay, there goes this guy. Now the bridge is going to go back down. The bridge operator is very confused at this point. Wait for it. Better start moving, bridge. As soon as this guy throws some switches, you better lower that bridge. Oh, there he comes. He's coming. Who's going to get there first? It's a spreadsheet stream. Alright, there we go. Yeah, the bridge made it down. You're about to leave this earth because... This. What was that? Did I just get a... I got a voicemail. Am I gonna check what this is on the stream? I think I had another voicemail already. I'm gonna have to check it later. What is... No, I don't know about that. So I think the idea of this place is that it would be something with magnetism used to separate the different kinds of metal. Because it's just separating scrap and it's using iron pellets. There goes that guy. Look at him go. See if we can have a meet. This would be the first meet that we ever see on the MVTC. At least since I started fixing stuff. So, let's see. Download station then. And I don't care if I have it installed. Hydrochloric acid. Storage tank 1, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid EM. Well, that's the tank car. Acid tank. Acetic acid tank load SAP. Peas and Partners sulfuric acid tanker. Sulfuric acid only. War Department tank car. Okay, that's a reskin. This is probably the same thing. This is a Procore tanker. That's a little bit that is wonky looking. I need a tanker. Well, let's try this then. Ammonium nitrate. Okay, so that's it just in a bag or in a wagon. I need it like bagged. Ammonium nitrate 88 solution, tanker be insulated, enter heat trace to keep solution hotter than or feedstock for explosive manufacturing plants. Liquid explosives. Yeah, no, that isn't what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to make an explosives plant here. It's just for iron separation. So, let's see. Chemicals that oxidize, chemicals used in scrap sorting process. Let's just try that. Steel scrap and sorting process. Now I'm just like, now I'm Googling it. I just have blah. Home scrap. Old scrap. Post-consumer, obsolete scrap. I mean, a lot of this is what I would be. Old scrap is the most difficult and costly form of steel to reuse. Home scrap hardly need any preparation. Have we seen a meat yet? No, here it comes. Mr. Cut. You know what? What is... What do you use for welding? Because that may be the kind of thing... Those may be the kind of chemicals that could be useful here. Magnetic separation, early separation process, heat to mix materials, heavy media, finely ground magnetite or ferrosilicon, and water. So that'll be the iron thing. We'll hand wave that away. Any used steel here in the product removed by water spray, open bath. Let's see. Dezinking process. Okay. Chemical techniques in which ammonia leach or caustic soda. So we need a whole bunch of hazmat chemicals. I'm gonna add this to my notes. Chemicals for scrap plant. Ammonium leach. Which I know is not. Let's see. What did I just read? That is chlorine gas. Yoicks. Ammonia leach, caustic soda. Caustic soda. Chlorine gas. Alkaline detinning, so what do you need for that? Calcium containing slags. Okay. Calcium? Question mark? Okay, I think the ammonia might be the best thing here. Acetylene. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking in that direction, now I'm not thinking in that direction so much. I believe I saw an ammonia thing, right? I think I already had that, actually. So what tank car is this? This is the tanker 40-foot SD Warren. Has ammonia in it. We could have this consume just a buttload of ammonia, and they would pull in an ammonia train in there, which makes sense, or is at least part of it. So that's there. What about something calcium related? No, I just have cattle. I don't think that counts. Something else. Caustic soda, chlorine gas. I thought I had chlorine. I think I might. Let me just look that up. Chlorine gas tank load SAP. LMS chlorine gas tanker, that's too small. Storage tank, chlorine. Oh, they have Martian ones. That's helpful. What the heck is this? Malt peat, granular plastic, quartz sand, rice, sand and gravel, soda ash, soybeans. Okay, that's not it. System 30 cartridges. This I don't think is it. Was Vaco chlorine products? Oh, that's why it's that. Okay. Liquid chlorine wagon. Broad gauge. That's not helpful. Chlorine canister load for gondola DES. Oh boy. List dependents. Gondola ACF 50 foot. Oh, it's the other gondola. Ah! Why don't we have this? Yeah, we just have this chlorine tanker. We have list dependents for the chlorine gas. Oh, hey, there are actually some. What is this one? Oh, that's way too modern. That's also way too modern. That is way, way too modern. No, I'm not. So it looks like ammonia is the way to go. We're probably going to have like a cut of ammonia cars coming in every day. What does everyone think about the idea of 15-foot broad gauge? What I think is, Okay, we don't need to watch this anymore. I'm not going to set up the other thing. We need to do some spreadsheeting before our time is up. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to not save. We know that the beginning of the day works. We need to find out, we need to double check if the end of the day works, but that is a problem for later. So let's go edit session. And now we're going to need to start filling these industries out again. In fact, we probably should... Yes, my love. Hi. We probably should go through and rework all of the industries, or at least make sure that all of their... Hi. All of their commodities and setups are good and standard, and also change the names of them to match the standard, and then as a response change the name in the spreadsheet, which this is the part where I will begin sharing my screen. 1 second, let me just switch to a channel that's not bad if I accidentally pop up Discord. So back over to OBS. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, screen time.
Sorry. I'll stop sleeping over you.
Never. Okay. Are you okay? It's probably fine. Is it leaking everywhere? Then it's fine. You would know. So I'm marking all of these as yellow as ones to double check. We will need to be adding many, many more. Oh man, the turbo mode is engaged. Let me just double check these comments. Okay. Now that the trolleys have stopped running, we have lost 3 viewers. I see. I get it. You guys will definitely be here for the 24-hour stream. Yeah, so we need to start listing these industries, connecting these industries, figuring out what they do. Let's start with... I'm saying in seriousness to the people that left when I stopped showing the thing. It's like, yeah, no, I definitely, I see people are coming here for this. Okay, so these are our producers, and these production numbers are not very helpful. They're unimportant right now. So let's go through Mason Valley and its producers. Now, if I'm remembering right, this place is supposed to be putting out wire or taking in wire. I cannot remember. This was... Oh, oops. Wait a minute, what? Oh, it's just the track that's named. Gabbard Signal Co. Okay, so it's taking in wire. It's taking in wire. So that's a consumer. That's a consumer. This is a consumer. This I don't know what to do with still, because I don't have a way to set this up. So this is probably a producer. MV Textiles. This is a consumer. Monkey Bananas is a consumer. These two are producing. This is probably producing. This is consuming, obviously. This is consuming sheep. This is producing and consuming. So this is for the appliances, which I don't think I have anything that carries these appliances. So we'll just have to use the steel coil TY end, which I don't think I have TY end stuff. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let me double check. QRST. Nope. Do I have any other steel ones? Consider add some small grassy areas around Mason Valley that aren't specifically lawns. Yeah, you're right. Steel coil 2x2 and steel coil 1x2. The only issue is that's the narrow gauge. They can't carry these things. But I think I can use an industry link and then just have this output something. General goods, maybe? So, I mean, if you want me to spend some time on that, I suppose I can. Mason Valley shrubs. I wrote it down. So, I'm not sure which one of these is going to be the producer and which one is going to be the consumer. This one is probably more or less the same thing, although that says output, and this says input. So, whatever is coming out of there, again, probably general goods. And then this. And I don't know which way the goods are going to be flowing here. Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, so this is a transfer, this is a transfer. These are kind of tough to gauge as what's a producer and what's a consumer. Honestly, I'm struggling with that right now. And some of these I just don't have commodities to give them. So that's why it's a problem right now. That's why they aren't all in the list. But I will at least get them in the list. Gabbard Signal Company is going to be a consumer. So let's write that one down. This is Mason Valley. Oh, right. All of these names need to be updated too. And that might change the organization. Okay, let's do one thing at a time and just update the names first. Monkey Bananas Limited, that's still correct. I think a lot of these, the names did not change. Although, I set these like this so that I could check the production, etc. But at least knowing that the standards are correct is good. Food Home Manufacturing, PUDHOME. Food Home Manufacturing. Although it's just that, it doesn't say siding. So the name is at least correct. Metals, Ginger Metals Recycling, Iron Pellets Drop Off. So that's a long name, but that's what we've got. Yep. The other thing, MV Steel Scrap Drop Off, which is now entitled Ginger Manufacturing Unsorted Scrap Drop Off. Sorry, Ginger Metals Recycling. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. Okay, so those are in. Those are in. That's good. Oh, Harrison Milling Company. I accidentally de-highlighted. And it should have been. This one's going to be tough to click on. Aha! It's just Harrison Milling Co. now. It doesn't say MV. Okay, so that's those Mesas Valley Industries. These two are going to be another long pair, which are these two. Sorted Scrap Pickup 2. And then this one is the same thing, except it says Sorted Scrap Pickup 1. Who would have thunk? I'm glad we're finally setting this up, though. Also, I think... Yeah, this is a connected track, which is an issue, because I need it to be a large multi-industry instead. And that presents a problem. TNT Express. So that's those out of the way. This one I need to set up as a giant multi-industry. Let's work on the route layer. That's the wrong thing. Wait, really? Fine, I'll do it this way. It's multi-ind. Multi-ind. Is there a longer one? I feel like there should be a longer one. We're gonna need to line this up, slide it in there, make it invisible. All that jazz. Got a better look at the industries now, yeah. Objects do not allow rolling. I'm not trying to roll it. Thanks. Holding shift instead of control. I wonder if you could super elevate an industry. Although, based on what I was seeing, Pan Am has sure been trying to super elevate everything. And by that I mean their track is so bad, one of the rails was like 3 inches higher than the other. I don't have words for just how atrocious it is/was. Okay. So let's just double check the names of the industries. I will just copy that. And then I will... Oh, whoops. I clicked on the building. Metals recycling. Ammonia drop-off. So I wanted to use a lot. I want to have a whole cut of ammonia cars that we're dropping off here. I don't know how realistic that is. Probably not. But I'm not fussed. Goodbye. Okay, that is gotten rid of. I'm gonna need a tiny section of invisible track, which we will grab off the end of this. And then we will slide this back. Oh crud, that was way further than I wanted to slide it. I would like to put it closer to that end. Right about there. I mean, the thing is, it's still probably going to look bad because of the way the building is. It's slightly cockeyed. I don't really have a fix for that. Just this industry track isn't going to do it. Slide it in. Slide it right up to it. There we go. And then we will do the same thing at this end, where I'm going to split this track like that. I'm going to grab... Yeah, okay, I grabbed the right thing. And then I'll tie it in right there. It's not going to look good in the end. It really isn't. Maybe I can rotate something by like 1/10 of a degree. And make it look more presentable. Oh, joke's on me, I can't. Okay, yeah, I can. Let's slide this over. We're just moving the building now because it's easier to... Oops. Okay. Easy does it. All ahead slow, goddammit. That is reasonably probably as close as we're going to get. Although I don't like it. I'd kind of rather it be like this and just be a little bit wonky and watch us derail ammonia tankers. Speaking of which, let's look at those tank cars. That would be freight cars and loads, tanker, 40-foot SD Warren. I guess I don't have it. Do I have this one? Is this the same? I guess I didn't have any. Kaolin slurry, ammonia, sulfur acid, 87%. Oh, this one actually might be better. This one has some more stuff by the looks of it. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Paint. Tank load of paint. Do I actually... Is this the one I have? So... Actually, it looks like the same... How many... Yeah, 39,000, 39,000. Yeah, actually, I think this one is just... This one is good enough. So, that means... Where's ammonia? There it is. So, if I was like, oh, we need 5 carloads... Oops. Oh, great. And just slide this in there. Okay. You know what? I've definitely made dumber looking stuff. I kind of wish I could slide this industry down more, though, because I definitely don't want to be... I don't want anything to be fouling this crossing, although maybe the move here is to have it unload and then just shove them back more. Because unlike real life, oops, all cars and trains unload instantly. Goodbye. Okay, so we've solved the ammonia problem. Although, wait a minute, now I'm not going to be able to, yeah. I'm actually going to delete the object name on that, just so I don't ever get myself confused. So, we have that one added. We have this one, which needs to have its commodities updated. We have this one, which needs to have its commodities updated, and also just needs to be set up, because it's not. The 3 up here, Breckmore Tooling, yeah, these are the ones that are not on. Here is, let's see. It's going to be on this side. Yeah, okay, so these are all fine. I can clear those, obviously. Whoa. Stepped on the wire to my speakers. This side is fine. So, Breckmore Tooling. Oh, first of all, these need to be... Ah, crap. Okay, here's what we'll do. Reorganize this, because Monkey Bananas deserves to be down here, so that everything's in alphabetical order. And then this is a problem, so we'll just cut this, move it here, cut this, move it here, drag this down. And then we can stick in the new industry, which is Breckmore Tooling, which, oh wait, that's a further problem. Olive, Mason Valley, Breckmore. Oh, it's on, oh, they do exist, they're up there. They're up there. What do you know? I did do it. Okay, so Machine Fabric, Brecknor, and Canal Island, which these should just say tooling, Canal Island Milling Company, which is, oh, that's Machine Fabric. I'm actually just going to call it that instead of blah blah siding, because it's fine. And then Canal Island Milling Company up here. Doesn't need to say siding. Reset. So those guys are fine. Yeah, Canal Island, I guess, is a separate place from Mason Valley. The West Industrial Park. And the other ones just aren't on here. I mean, the other ones that we don't know what to do with obviously aren't on here. It just sort of presents the problem of like, okay, at what point do we sit down and figure out what are we doing? And all right, see you, Stellar. What are we doing? And how long do we wait to figure that out? And at what point do I bug Matt for cars with with commodities I can use these industries with? So the thing is, the transfer industries, right? Although I know the logs are going to be going in this direction. They're going to be going from the standard gauge to the narrow gauge, almost certainly, because the olive branch produces a absolute buttload of logs, and there would definitely be a train that has some, if not all, logs that just comes down here and transfers them over onto the narrow gauge for sending along to the... What the heck? Why didn't you get a nickel?
Oh, it's mine.
Found it. For this. So, the log one we can put in. So let's do that. This is... Oh, that doesn't... There we go. Log transfer SG. So this is Mason Valley. This is a consumer industry. Wait, why is Harrison Milling Company above that? It's a distinct failure in the way that the alphabet works. There we go. So this is just log transfer, which means it would be right here, Olive, Mason Valley, log transfer, commodity logs. I think it is just regular logs. Although we don't know what with yet. And you know what? I'm going to mark all of these in yellow because these are all things we're going to need to fix and check. We are doing the industries basically from the ground up, just to make sure to make sure everything works right, everything has the right numbers. I can clear these obviously. So, okay. I can clear these. The flat stock is a problem. So, Cork & Sons furniture, that's something to deal with later. Okay, so we got the log transfer in. The logs, I'm just going to put question marks for that for now. And then on this side, I'll just drag this down. Oops. Although we're going to need to put it on this side. So this is going to be log transfer. Oh, whoops. Log transfer ng. Commodity logs. Kigs logs. Question mark. Question mark. The general goods situation. So this one is genuinely perplexing me because it's just a question of, in general, haha, where will the goods be flowing? And if I look at the Tolbrin map really quick, let's see if I can pull up a Tolbrin map. Pictures, maps, Tolbrin. Which is the most recently edited one? It's probably this one. Yeah, 819. A lot of these are old and unhelpful. If we look at the general flow of the Geiger Mountains, I would wager that a lot of the general goods are coming onto the Geiger Mountains. So it is produced goods out. Yeah, that's what it is. Especially out this way. So it's produced goods out and then, well, duh, what am I saying? The out goods out, the in goods in. The thing is, all of those goods are going to be going like this way into the like these places and not this, because this is something that is for, I can't remember what exactly now. I think that was for coal. But yeah, they built this giant extension, and now I wish I could remember the lore that I had behind it. But I think most of the inbound general goods supply is going to be coming from this. Maybe a little bit here. Maybe a decent chunk here, because it's probably quicker to get a train. Well, then you've got to go down and through all this stuff. You've got to go from here all the way around. So it probably is faster to just come up here, transfer the goods out. So there will be some outbound general goods that are going from the standard gauge to the narrow gauge. There will be inbound general goods that are going from the narrow gauge to the standard gauge. That's going to be mostly stuff from industries. Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one to set up. Okay. So, first things first. First things first, why are we using such short ones? Whatever, unimportant. We can only unload like 4 cars at a time here. Whatever. Queues. General goods. And then we have another queue for general goods, the second one. So, as we may recall from our tables and discussion from last time, the general goods, and for those that aren't familiar, out and in. So, out generally means, actually, did I invert these by accident? I always forget what out and in actually mean. Now I've screwed myself up. General goods out are going out of the industries. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, that's the box one. General goods in are going into the industries. That's the crate one. Okay, so most industries produce this general goods, which in my head is an unsorted general goods, because if you're producing general goods out of, say, the pulp mill, that's all one kind of general goods. You take them to a big sorting facility, they turn them into, or they mix them together, and then they distribute them as these general goods. That's how it works in my head, or that's how I think it should work. So that's what we need to do. General goods. General goods. Now, the thing is with these, I don't know exactly what the balance is going to be. Hi, KS1. Hey, Braden. If we have, because we're going to have a lot of general goods coming through here, I think. So they're going to get put onto here, and then from there, they'll go into Geiger City, and then they'll come back as sorted general goods, and then they'll get like switched out again, put on the narrow gauge, sent out to wherever they need to go. So that means these are both producers and consumers, and they work both kinds of general goods. There is a flow of outbound goods from narrow to standard, and a flow of inbound goods from standard to narrow. So, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm trying to think of situations where that wouldn't be the case. But I honestly, I can't think of any. There might be some goods that are, instead of being sent through here, they are actually sent all the way along the extension out to Macon, and then put on trains towards Akron. Or the other way around, or they just send in to Geiger City. Or they're put on trains here that go south to Wambach. That's something that we're going to need to figure out later. For now, we're just going to deal with this the way it is. Goodness, now I'm yawning. I feel like I've woken up a little bit. I feel less in a haze, but now I'm yawning. That's a little odd. Oh, is it because because of the placement of the spline points, isn't it? If I move this, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Can I delete this spline point? What will happen? Okay, nothing good, turns out. I don't know what this flashing spline point is trying to tell me. Oh. What the heck? That is not the way that should be. I think. Let's fix this while we're here. Oh, and I've deleted the foot. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's move this to like here. And then I guess delete this. And then move this to like here. No. Okay, move this out first. Bruh. We already have a switch stand here. Thank you. Oh, I know why that was like that, actually. Okay. Okay, undo all this crap that I just did. Because I remember why this was like this. And it's so that this can be pulled to like... Oh, whoops. So that this can be pulled to, say, there-ish. And still be on these ties, I guess. I'm not sure if that's what I've done in other places, but there aren't too many of these dual gauge switches around. Yeah, that is what I did over here. So, whatever. We at least have a precedent. I like the way this area has or is coming out. Okay, so let's get these guys in the spreadsheet. This is Sanchez goods. Sanchez goods, standard gauge and narrow gauge. Oop, oop, come on. Sanchez goods, standard gauge and narrow gauge. I don't know why these are centered. Oh, I know why they're centered. Never mind. So they both are producers of a certain kind. They both are also consumers of a certain kind, so that needs to be adjusted. It's actually going to be down here, isn't it? So I need to move all of this down. Okay, wait, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I wanted to move the formatting down, but not that. Olive Mason Valley, Sanchez goods, and this is the part that I'm definitely going to get confused on and go back and forth on about a dozen times. Which is, which goods are which? Again, as if I wasn't already confused enough. So, NG, SG, NG, SG, oops, dash, SG. So, the narrow gauge one is producing, it is producing the outbound goods. So, the goods, general goods out, or box. I think that's what it's called now after I changed it to keep myself from getting confused, and then got myself confused, of course. And then it is consuming general goods in crate. These are just going to be backwards on this one. This one is going to be consuming, the narrow gauge one is going to be consuming the general goods. Wait a minute. Narrow gauge one is going to be producing, I got those backwards. The standard gauge one is going to be producing the out. Give me this. There we go. So that's what it's supposed to be. We've got those two in, and we still need to figure out, these are nice big fat question marks as to how much they're doing. We need to figure out a theoretical maximum, and then we can work up to that maximum. Now that those are in, we've also got the coal stave, or the coal transfer, which is 100% going to be coal going, it's going from the narrow gauge to the standard gauge. It's still going to be in here both times, but MV coal transfer, so it's going to be at the top of this list. Coal transfer, Olive, Mason, oh, wow, I am tired. Mason Valley, coal transfer. Wonder what the commodity is going to be. Coal. recall. We don't know how much. I think, yeah, we can edit this. It can go pretty fast. If I, yeah, so consumes every 1 second, produces every 1 second. Yeah, that one is fine. Welcome back, Redding. We're getting a good number of these into the spreadsheet before I call it quits today. Because we're going to need to figure out how all these industries work together, and then we're going to need to get them settled into the spreadsheet. But a lot of this is me going, oh, do I have this? Do I have this? Do I have this? These two, I'm not sure I know what to do with. This one is supposed to, let's see, Twin River Milling. I don't know if it's supposed to accept lumber or flat stock or what. It's a milling company. It'll produce goods. I just don't know what to make it accept. Maybe something unique. This produces this flat stock and lumber, which yeah, we do have that one in the spreadsheet. This one I don't have in the spreadsheet yet because I don't know what to do with it. I don't think we have a way to move cotton, or at the very least, we don't have a way to move these cottons. We have. Let me double check again, but cotton. We have all these commodities, and I don't think we have anything that takes them, at least not on hand. So if we have, let's see, what is this? List dependencies. Nothing. It's just a building. Oh, that's the wool mill across the street. Clothing, package, and box on pallet. Non-visible product. Textile mill reskin. Yeah. So if I take these, if I list dependencies of the textile mill reskin, and then I take all of these, what is bulk load? If I take all these clothing, cotton, cottonseed bulk, dye drums. I don't know what that is. If I take all of these and I say, hey, list dependents, show me cars that take these. There's none. Nothing. Best we've got is general goods, and I think that's it. You know, these guys, this just has to produce general goods. That's it. We can say that the cotton comes from something else. I would say that it comes in by barge or something, but the other thing we could do is just loop this all into one big thing, you know, just delete this fence maybe, and call this, like, this is the drop off and this is the pickup. That's the only thing I can think of. You know, I mean, honestly, yeah, we don't have coal being dropped off for this, so how does the coal get there? Nobody knows. But unless we have some industries or something that can do this, this is just going to produce general goods. And I will double check now to see. Let's see a good filter. Let's go to download station as a filter for just cotton, and it's going to give us everything cotton belt under the sun, and all the cottonwood trees and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all cotton belt. Cotton mill. These are two of those. Cotton load. Cottonseed bulk loader. It's a cottonseed oil processing facility. Another version for loading trucks. I'm going to download this and just see. I don't care if it's installed or not. Just show it to me by name. Let's see, bulk loader. List dependencies. Nothing. It's just an object. It's not an industry. Cottonseed tarp load. Well, that looks way too modern. Cottonseed hopper. Cylindrical hopper, cotton belt, cotton gin, cotton loader. I'm looking for anything that is just fabric or cotton or, you know, that sort of thing. That's a giant cottonseed hopper. But I don't think I have anything that is a fabric commodity. If we go over here, we don't have anything called fabric. We don't have anything called cotton. We don't even have anything called wool, I don't think. Which is why we're delivering sheep. I don't know what else we're supposed to be doing. We have cotton on Tolbrin now. Well, we're trying to get cotton on Tolbrin. We don't have a... We don't have a boxcar or anything that can carry the cotton assets. Which is the biggest problem here. I mean, it's really the only problem. Cottonseed oil tank load. Wait a minute. List dependencies. Let me guess, nothing. Oh, nope, just liquid oh, wait, sorry. My bad. List dependents. Yeah, just the textile mill. Cotton trailer load. No, that's not it. Somehow I don't think that's... I mean, I'll download it anyway. I don't know what it is. Cotton compress. Oh, it's a factory. Yeah, I'll download that. Oh, these are older versions. Oh, no, they're different assets. Cotton bales plain stacked on pallet. We don't have anything that carries them. I have sometimes just gone through lists of just downloading boxcars and seeing if they have the right assets, and never have I found one. You can put them on flat cars. Well, if I could find a flat car that had them, that'd be cool too. I need something that already has the asset, like, you know, set up. That seems old. 40-foot boxcar cotton belt. Yeah, no. What about this one? No, it's old. Okay, what about 50-foot boxcar? With no description that is a little sus. Yeah. Over hay bale, cement, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I've got nothing for carrying textiles. Textile boxcar, no. Icon textiles. Designed for pop-up messages. That is a building. Otherwise, we just don't have it. We just don't have a way to transport fabric. So we're just left with delivering sheep to places where we need fabric to go. Let's do some general goods then. So, MV Textiles, let's get that in the sheet. Oh, it's already 10 past 10, holy cow. Industries in balance. I am still just going to call it MB Textiles. This is a producer industry. It's going to go here. Oh, wait, no, it's not. We'll do this. MV Textiles. I think that's what it was, right? Now I'm forgetting. I just looked at it. Yeah, MV Textiles. And then this is just going to be general goods out box. Just copy that over. Okay. These are things we can figure out knowing what the carload is. But that's in, this is finally in, this is finally all the way in, bow chicka bow wow. This isn't in, this isn't in. These are both consumer industries. This one is Cooper Lumber, which is a relatively small operation. Olive, Mason Valley, Cooper Lumber, and then it's just going to be lumber. And it's probably just going to be 2 carloads a day, because that's the minimum we can do with lumber, unless I find a something that has 4 units of lumber available. Like one car that can carry 4 units of lumber. So that one's in. Next for the wire place, although we did not nail down exactly what we wanted to use for the wire place, I think, like, that's what it was. When we were dicking around, we found assets that we wanted to use. And if I remember right, let's see, let's scroll back over to Gondola Mill 52-foot railgun. I think this was the one. Yeah, this was the one. So, and this is probably the last one I do before I am wrapped up. We had a thing that was like spool, where you could carry a spool of something. And we could carry it, I think, oh, was it this one? Okay, we're going to need to put the car down and look at it. Yeah, it was this one. Just this sheer absurd number of commodities. Yeah, because I was originally looking at stuff like this, not like that one. Well, similar to that one. But, yeah, spools of cable load. But then we had, yeah, I knew it. The cable roll. This is it. Cable roll care to Dirtsham. That's what we need for this one. So, cable roll. Gabbard Signal Company. Oh, that is a consumer industry, so it needs to go GA. Olive, Mason Valley, Gabbard Signal Co. And then I don't want to mess this up, so I'm just going to copy the name directly. I seem to have lost it, though. There it is. Cable roll. Question. So we will figure out these sooner or later. We do need to also start going down this list and just sort of blinking away at the ones starting in this area and then going back to Olive before we can start automating that stuff. But insulin barrier area scenery, trees. And the industry settings, yeah, that's still fine. Fix end of day problem, 24-hour set test. This seems fine. These we just did. Um, update unloadable quantities. Check flat stock. So those are things we still need to do. We got done a little bit. We filled in another little gap. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we've done what we've done today. I'm glad you guys were here with me, and I will see you next week. Oh, this is the Admiral signing off.